All right, so this is joint work with that guy. All of the mistakes are actually shared. Like, it was both of us. We're both. So I want to talk about the value of disagreement. We're talking about epistemic benefits of disagreement while designing and developing AI systems. So when we think about developing AI, humans are everywhere in the process. People have to make myriad decisions in large groups about how they're going to develop a particular AI system. But people have diverse perspectives and different knowledge, and as a result, they often disagree about how to build the system. But disagreement isn't just an impediment. It can also be an opportunity because it reflects a breadth of different knowledge that you can draw on, and an opportunity for discussion that can lead to improvements. So we're interested in the kinds of epistemic benefits that this kind of disagreement offers to AI development. So we want to say, pay attention to disagreement, not just as a thing to get rid of, but as a thing that you want to pay attention to. So here's a kind of motivating case. This is the task of data annotation for instance, labeling social media posts as containing hate speech. Typical example. People disagree about what counts as hate speech. There's disagreement in society about this, so not surprisingly, there's disagreement when multiple people are labeling the same data set. So to deal with this, typically when you're labeling a hate speech data set, what you want is a group of people that label each particular individual post, and then you want to do some aggregation procedure to figure out what label actually gets applied. Often, this is just a simple majority vote among the annotators. You take the label that wins a majority vote. But this can wash out minority perspectives when there's systematic disagreement between groups in society, as you'd expect on a task like hate speech. So you end up eliminating evidence of disagreement by the time you get to the training step for the machine learning. And this, can exacerbate the sort of suppression of marginalized perspectives. Even if you go out and get a nice representative sample of annotators, you can end up washing out the influence of some of the groups that you really want to be included, right? So we think that in general, there's this problem of that kind of washing out of disagreeing voices. It doesn't just happen in those kinds of cases, it happens in lots of other decision points when developing AI systems. So we call this perspectival homogenization. We say it occurs when an aspect of an AI system's design, evaluation, or alignment processes excludes or attenuates the impact of relevant disagreement or diversity of perspectives concerning the task at hand. Okay, that's a long philosopher's definition, but the point is that these are these cases where the influence of disagreement is washed out by the development process. So in the paper, what we offer is first a characterization of this perspectival homogenization as a kind of procedural risk whenever you're doing AI evaluation, alignment, design processes. And we develop a framework that's supposed to help people realize the epistemic benefits of disagreement in AI development tasks in a way that avoids that kind of procedural homogenization. And then we apply this framework to identify what we take to be some widespread but mistaken assumptions about disagreement. We offer some philosophical justification for a few emerging technical approaches, like ones dealing with perspectivism and data annotation. And we suggest some hopefully promising directions for future research based on these epistemic benefits. So the first part of this framework that we talk about is a set of epistemic benefits of disagreement that we've identified as maybe particularly important. It's not an exhaustive list, but it's a set of benefits of disagreement that people should be paying attention to when developing AI systems. So I'll talk about the first three of these, just because of time. So the first is the kind of traditional benefits of diversity, kind of benefits of having groups that are diverse in their social background, that might have disagreements in their opinions. There's a range of cognitive science evidence that groups like this, when they're diverse, do a better job at solving various kinds of tasks, at doing various things. So there's cognitive pathways to these benefits. That is, people from different backgrounds develop different cognitive skills, abilities, and styles, and that those can complement one another when they work together, resulting in things like correcting each other's errors or just getting a broader benefit for an evaluation. Similarly, there are information elaboration pathways, meaning you get more information from heterogeneous groups. They're more willing to, they're more likely to share new information. They're more likely to check each other for mistakes and be more careful about the things they themselves say. So you get a better pool of information and a better way of evaluating it. And this is like well attested in cognitive science literature. See the paper for the citations. Another benefit is disagreement in discourse. Here we're talking about disagreement that's active, where people are talking to each other, they're arguing about what the right view is, engaging in discussion with each other in a way that ends up drawing in more information than you would get from just pooling what people say otherwise. So when you argue for a position yourself, you're expected to provide justifications for your view. You're expected to respond to any objections that other people raise. And you're incentivized to go and gather more evidence that supports your own view. When you have a group that's incentivized to do these things, you end up with much better evidence base. Right? And this, again, there's converging evidence about the value of this, both in the philosophy literature and in cognitive science of various fields. Right? So that's another case where you'll go look at the citations in the paper. Finally, I want to talk about some benefits that are suggested by standpoint theory and epistemology. So standpoint epistemology provides evidence that people who disagree with a majority position might be correct, that the minority view might be right. Just as scientists can be experts in their field, people with advantaged standpoints can be experts regarding a wide range of social phenomena that can impact a whole bunch of different areas. So famously, this includes bias in science, law, and policy. So a standpoint consists in a set of epistemic resources and abilities that's developed by members of a marginalized group in response to oppressive structures. Standpoints place subjects in a better position to know about specific topics because they've developed better abilities to recognize what's going on as a result of being forced to navigate structures, dominant ideologies that are false, and just dealing with the dominant hierarchical situation that they're in. This allows them to develop epistemic advantages, or so the theory claims. And if that's right, then you're going to have certain people who are experts that you really don't want to exclude from influencing the AI development and design process, because they're a special kind of expert that you don't want to lose out on. Okay, so those are 3 of the 4 sort of main benefits of disagreement that we talk about. This suggests a few applications to AI. We'll talk about I'll talk about the general framework in a second, but right away there's some things that jump out that can help us think about dealing with disagreement in AI development. First, it helps us think about when disagreement epistemically matters. So here, a lot of people in the AI literature, when they talk about disagreement and respecting it, they're concerned with these kind of subjective tasks in their terms. That is, cases where issues of value, there's no matter of fact, they think, and so it's just like ordering a pizza and figuring out the toppings. You just are dealing with preference aggregation. That's what disagreement is. But if we're right about these epistemic benefits, disagreement is actually more important in cases where there is a matter of fact that we're just uncertain about, because these epistemic advantages can mean group inquiry can do a better job. So it's not just subjective tasks where disagreement matters. It's all of them, especially the objective ones. Another thing that this can help with is whose perspective should be included. So when we're talking about standpoint theory, that suggests it's not just ticking off census categories that you want to do when you're like gathering people in your group. It may be not enough just to make sure that you've got demographic representation. You want to look for people who might have the relevant standpoint, which means maybe people like elders in a particular community, people who are political leaders, people who are activists, people who might be academics from that community. You might need to do more work to find the people with the relevant standpoints. And then with respect to structuring the task, the active disagreement suggests that you need to do more than just take in information about what disagreeing people say. You want to get them in a room together, if possible, to argue about what's going on. And where that's not possible, we can also ask for additional information from them. Like, what is the justification for why you say what you say? And we can use that for various purposes. So the framework we offer suggests, you start with these normative foundations, and then you think at different sort of stages of any AI task, like annotation tasks or evaluation tasks, red teaming, model selection. For any of those specific tasks, what you want to do is think for at the beginning, what kinds of epistemic disagreements might matter? How might they be useful? In the process stage, you think, okay, how should I structure the group that's doing this process? Is it enough to gather their information, or should we get them together in a room and argue? And then for outcomes, we think about how we can learn from the specific disagreement. So this framework helps us think about a variety of cases and suggest places where people can bring these epistemic benefits of disagreement to mind and benefit from them in development.